Well, good morning, shipmates. Welcome to the soggiest August for some time, and I thought I'd just check back in with going to ground, as it's been a couple of weeks. We've been away on the scorching island of Crete. Some of you will be displeased to hear, having endured the rainfall that there's been in England recently. And it was the right place to be, I think, with a paperback, a glass of something cool and refreshing, and a Greek salad and a sun lounger. 7 days like that is enough to restore the weariest soul. And so I'm just back walking Effie here in Wiltshire, and among the books I took with me and read was the Robert Winder's book, The Last Wolf, about the origins of Englishness, a theme which, as regulars will know, I'm really interested in. And it was a particularly useful and original take on this well-trodden path, and one particularly appealed to me, as it was grounded and rooted in the land. And he argues very persuasively that the roots of national identity, wherever you happen to be, are actually formed far more by geography, physical geography and climate, landscape, than most people realise. We focus on politics, social history, finance and so on, and also the values and culture that underlie our identity, quite rightly. So I'm just retracing my steps, because Effie has found something here in the hedges, and when that happens, it usually betokens something decaying and rotten. Effie, what have you found? Come on. Right, I think we're safe. And anyway, Winder lays out his three constituent parts of English identity, particularly in the medieval period. Water, access to plenty of it around the coast, of course, seafaring nation, allowing not only for international trade, but trade around and across the island. And water with fresh rivers, lots of inland rivers for watermills, which numbered as many as parish churches. There are as many watermills as parish churches. This is one of the interesting facts, that the sound of grinding watermills was one of the persistent sounds, defining sounds of medieval England. Water, wheat, the natural habitat for wheat and barley growing, and wool. So the title, The Last Wolf, refers to the extermination of wild wolves in England by about 1290, which allowed sheep farming, sheep rearing. Come on, Effie, Effie, Effie. Come on, Effie. Good girl. What was it? I'm going to put her on the lead, actually. Quick interlude. You can look at the grey and cloudy sky while I put on Effie's lead. Listen to the wind in the trees. And like most things on going to ground, doing it with one hand proves, with a mobile dog. Effie, come here. Effie. Sorry about this. Okay. Oh, really? Come here. Yeah. And left-handed, I might say. Well, there we are. Sorry about that. That was unnecessarily and unusually complex. Where was I? Yes. The extermination of the wolf allowed sheep rearing on a huge scale in the country, and allowed for dominance of the wool say the cloth trade in the Middle Ages, and huge wealth in certain areas, like East Anglia, like the Cotswolds, and of course therefore the construction of some of our most glorious churches, the wall churches, which rose to a magnificence that would otherwise not have been possible. So wheat, water and wool, and there's wheat behind me here, still waiting to be harvested, and the barley field well shorn by now as we walk up to the long barrows, and it's getting pretty blustery and my phone's running out of juice, so I'll not stay on long. But just to commend that to you, The Last Wolf, very interesting for groundlings in the influence of what lies beneath our feet and what we grow around us for the kind of people we are. In other news, of course, as some of you may have seen from a brief advert, not officially part of the Going to Ground series that I placed online last week, the records, the LPs have finally arrived for my new album, Even Songs. And so all the product and merchandise is ready, and I've begun to send that out. So if you wanted to order, that will now come to you. Thank you for your patience, those of you who'd ordered and it had been delayed. It's now going out from the cottage industry of my study. And you can order those from my Bandcamp page. If you go to andrewrumseymusic.bandcamp.com, and the online versions will be released on the 1st of September. There'll be more about that soon with events and so on coming up in the autumn. That'll do for now, friends. God bless you. Good to be back as you go to ground.